Hey everybody, welcome to today's webinar. I'm Brandy. I'm from our Partner Success team. I've got Jason here with me who works alongside me. And we've got a couple friends with us today. We've got Matt from Cumberland Valley and Melissa from Colorado Springs. And we're talking about pass refreshes today. So this is a great way to keep people engaged, keep them going into your local businesses is by doing a pass refresh. So a lot of our partners will do pass refreshes, usually on like an annual basis. There'll be an annual refresh of their pass. And so some of our partners have developed some really good strategies on how to make these super successful. Matt and Melissa are a couple of those, and they're going to share their blueprints for success, basically. Pass refreshes are not something to be scared of. This is not something where it's really even a lot of extra work, especially with our new experience builder, which has launched. You can go in and build your own passes now in Experience Builder. We had a webinar a couple months ago. Our leader, Mo, showed some of those cool things within Experience Builder, and you can access that webinar and see that. You can also reach out to our team, and we can put together a training for you to show you how to do that. But with this, you can go in and knock out these passes really quickly. So when you're doing a refresh, you can do it super quick. If you're using a lot of those same businesses, they're already in there. Man, it is so easy, so much easier than it used to be, and you're going to love it. So reach out to our team and let us set up a training for you to get you into the system and to be able to see that and show you how we can refresh your pass. And also, again, this is not something that I want you to think of as a bad thing. Pass refreshes are a really positive thing. It's a chance to breathe new life into your pass, give it some exciting new things, and to give people another reason to participate. So even after they've finished your pass, they have another reason to participate again, go back into those businesses and keep things moving along. And those people that were a part of your pass currently, we can engage those people to invite them to be a part of the next round, the next refreshed pass. So this is a super good thing to keep the economic impact coming into your destinations, keep people moving around with a refreshed pass. So with that, Matt, we're going to start with you today because I totally love the strategy that you guys have put together. You have nailed this. I've really enjoyed working with you, and you've got it down pat with all of the passes that you guys do. It's been, I know it is a lot to keep up with, but you make it look so easy. And even when you get it started, you have your messaging scheduled for the next year for some of this, like your pass, like your beer pass that goes on until 2025. We've got messaging scheduled for 2025 already. You have this all down pat. So can you please tell us all how you make this look so super simple?
Yeah, thanks, Brandy. As she said, my name is Matt, and I work for the Cumberland Valley Visitors Bureau in Pennsylvania. We are just across the river from our state capital of Harrisburg, as well as a short drive from major attractions such as Gettysburg, Hershey, Baltimore, DC, Philly, and Pittsburgh. So we are in the perfect location to bring some of these people who live in these busy cities and allow them to take a break from their busy lives and enjoy a nice, relaxing weekend in Cumberland Valley. And we have designed our trails to enhance their experience while they're here. So in 2024, this year, we actually have 5 trails that we're operating. The first one that we launched was our Coffee and Chocolate Trail. This one started in February and ran all the way through the end of May. We have our Beer Trail, which is actually our largest trail that we operate. It includes around 30 breweries, wineries, cideries, and distilleries in the area. This one launched in April and it runs all the way through March of 2025. We have our Ice Cream Trail, which launched on Memorial Day weekend and runs all the way through Labor Day weekend. And for our Foodie Flavor Trail, this is actually our 3rd iteration of this kind of trail. We started off with our Fall Fun Pass 2 years ago. This one featured farm attractions. Last year, we made a couple tweaks and a couple edits. We renamed it the Farm Fresh Trail, and we opened it up to different farmers markets in the area. And then this year, we made even more edits. We renamed it again to the Foodie Flavor Trail. We extended the launch date, so now it's launched in June and runs all the way through the summer to the end of November. And this one, because we noticed that our 3 most successful trails were all food related, we shift focus and made this trail solely about food. So this trail is where you can find all of your specialty ingredients and any supplies that you need for cooking. And then our last trail that we launched this year is actually our first year doing it. It is our Family Adventure Trail. And this one launched in July, and it runs all the way through May of next year. So pass refreshes are important for a couple different reasons. First, it really allows you to re-engage with your pass holders. If your trail is operating year-round, people are going to sign up for the trail, collect a couple check-ins, redeem a prize or 2, and that's going to be their experience with it. They're not going to keep on coming back. But if you do pass refreshes, you're able to bring those repeat pass holders to come in, continue participating in the trail, and ultimately come in to support the businesses in the area and visit your area. Pass refreshes also allow you to re-engage with businesses in the community. If you reached out in previous years to a business who isn't necessarily interested in the trail, this allows you to go back each year and see what their interest level is like, and hopefully, if they see the success of how the trail has been, they're able to be re-interested again. And it also allows you to invite businesses who are new to the area and are looking to gain some exposure. But also, one of the most important factors is communication. By having this past refresh cycle, you're able to stay on the same page with all these businesses. You're able to educate the staff of how the trail is going to operate so they can best serve the pass holders. And plus, it allows you to learn a little bit more about their business. Maybe they change their hours. Maybe they're having a different product offering. This allows you to better understand each other so then we could best promote ourselves. Another major reason why pass refreshes are important is because it really allows you to customize your trail to match each season. As you can see with our ice cream trail, we launched it on Memorial Day weekend, and it runs all the way through Labor Day. That is prime ice cream season. It wouldn't make sense to have that trail operate year-round. So by doing these pass refreshes, you're really able to customize each trail to match the season, as well as make a trail that makes sense for where you're located. Another very important factor about this pass refresh process is media coverage. By launching a new trail each year with a different unique twist, such as a theme, new prizes, maybe a new location or 2, this creates a compelling story that news outlets are going to want to pick up on. If you have a trail that operates year-round, that's not necessarily an exciting story. They might cover the trail when it launches, but then that's really going to be it. By launching a trail each year, you're able to continue to open that door to allow media to cover your story and promote the trail as well as your area. Another and very important reason that we do pass refreshes is it really allows you to open up creativity. You can explore different themes, different branding, different prizes. You can really get fun with it and make it an exciting experience for all of your pass holders. It doesn't have to be the same each year. And then lastly, pass refreshes really are able to help you to evaluate your performance. You're able to look at the trail as a whole, see this performance, and make tweaks and edits to be able to optimize the trail for the next year. As you can see with our Foodie Flavor Trail, we looked at the results, compared it to the other trails that we operated, and we made tweaks and edits so we can make sure that the trail is as successful as possible. So there are several different ways that we keep our passports exciting and fresh here at Cumberland Valley. The first is new prizes. We try to add around 2 to 3 new prizes each year per trail. and we still have all the old prizes in inventory. They're labeled as in the vault, so pass holders are still able to redeem the prizes that they missed out on the year before, but there's always a couple new prizes that they can get excited about and want to redeem. And especially for our beer trail, we try to have a new theme each year. So last year, our 2023 trail was themed as 90s music. So as you can see with the top graphic, we had branding that fit that aesthetic. We had one of our prizes was a tank top t-shirt to kind of fit with the 90s vibe. And also we had a Spotify playlist. Now we had all the hits of the 90s in a playlist. It was available in the passport as a check-in. So people were able to get a free check-in and listen to all the hits of the 90s while they were visiting these different breweries. This year, we had, sticking with the music theme, we themed our trail to be 80s hairband music. So as you can see with the bottom graphic, we had all of our branding to fit that aesthetic. Our prizes this year included a portable speaker, a bandana, and a t-shirt that was designed to look like a t-shirt that you would pick up at a concert that had all the locations of the trail on the back of it. And for this trail as well, we also had a Spotify playlist where we were able to put all the hits from the 80s hairband era and include them in a playlist that was available to be a check-in on the passport. And then each year, we do try to add a couple new locations to the trail. So it's just not the same trail every single year, and people are able to experience and visit new locations and new businesses that they have not tried out before.
And Matt, one of my favorite things is this playlist. I'm sitting here looking at it right now. Def Leppard, Motley Crue, Warrant. I mean, this is Van Halen, and then Poison, because Bret Michaels is from Cumberland Valley, right?
He is, yeah.
But you guys have so much fun with that playlist, and I truly do feel like every year it is a totally different experience for someone, with the prizes, the branding, the music that you get to jam out to as you're going around trying all of these great beers. So you guys have done a really good job with that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what the whole point of the Pass Refresh process is about. We want the trail to be new and exciting and something different each year. And as you can imagine, building that Spotify playlist is always one of the most fun marketing meetings that we have as a team.
I'm sure. Totally.
So I'm looking at different goals and results. Obviously, for goals, you want the passport to be as successful as possible. You want signups as well as check-ins to increase. And then ultimately, you want people to come overnight and stay in your region. So looking at the graphic on the left, I just picked our two biggest trails because it was, I can't show the results for all of our trails, but for our ice cream trail, we launched it for the first time in 2021. And as you can see, each year that we've done this refresh, signups have increased, which just shows that each year people are getting more and more excited to participate in the trail. And looking over to our beer trail, we send out a survey after every 5 check-ins and after every 10 check-ins to learn a little bit more about who is participating on our trails. So based off of the results from last year, we have learned that 33% of our respondents were first-time pass users, and an astonishing 67% were repeat users. And that just tells me that the passport refresh process works. We are still promoting the trail, and people are hearing about the trail for the first time and want to participate. But we're also re-engaging with pass holders who have done it in the past and want to keep on participating again and again. So there are several lessons learned from the pass refresh process. The first is really the importance of communication. You want to make sure that everyone on your marketing team, every business that's on the trail, and even the pass holders are all on the same page so we can create the best customer experience possible. Also, one of the major reasons why we do this pass refresh is engagement. Not only do we want to engage those repeat pass holders, but also the refresh process creates a sense of urgency. If there is a strict deadline on the trail, when people have to collect their check-ins and redeem their prizes by a certain date, they're going to work as hard as possible to be able to achieve their goals, to be able to collect as many check-ins or to get the prizes that they want. If there's no strict deadline and the trail is just operating year round, people are going to do the trail at their own pace. They're going to collect a couple check-ins and take their time with it. And that could potentially cause the trail to slip from their mind. So refreshing the process, refreshing the pass really creates a sense of urgency and increases engagement. And lastly, is just optimization. You're able to look at the passport from the prior years and really make edits and tweaks to make sure that the trail is as successful as possible. So hopefully you learned something through this presentation. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A section in the chat.
Thank you. And yeah, one of the things that Matt was talking about are those surveys that they have developed that they send out after a certain number of check-ins have happened. So that is messaging that they are requesting. Our team sets that up on our end. So those messages go out automatically as soon as people have hit that, whatever that determined threshold is. If it's that, like the 5 check-ins, that message automatically sends to them then. That is something that we can help with. You can set that up. Matt does a great job of setting this up for the entire year, all of the messaging. So I think it does help. It helps you to kind of keep it all straight and to have it done, right? Like when you do that ahead of time.
Yeah, I try to be as organized as possible. And so as much as it can get done during the launch process, the easier it's going to be to actually operate and manage the trail. And plus it prevents things from slipping from my mind.
Totally. And of course, we're happy to help you with that. We have email, in-feed messaging, even text messaging. And if it's something you just feel overwhelmed and you want some help with it or just some guidance, we even have a new thing we're doing with managed text messaging. So we can work with you to help put together that messaging plan. So that's something to definitely ask your partner success team member about as well. And we're happy to work with you on that. But Matt, like, y'all are killing it. Thank you for all of these awesome trails you're creating. I think like the way that you guys do it, it really creates a sense of anticipation for your pass holders. Like they're waiting to see like what the next theme is going to be. They're waiting for the next one to start. So I know like as soon as ice cream ends here in like a week or so, when that one ends, people are just waiting for the next one next summer to start because they get so excited about it.
Yeah, no, that's very true. When I'm interacting with some of our pass holders in the community, they're always so excited to show me their prizes, elaborate how much fun they have on the trails. They always also like to give me ideas of other trails that we can add that they're interested in.
Cool. Well, and now with unlimited pass builds and experience builder, you can take all of those ideas and as quickly as you can build these passes now, you can even create more passes if you want. So very cool. Like Matt said, if you have questions, drop them in the Q&A. As Melissa is bringing us more words of wisdom, if you think of more questions, pop them in there and we'll address all those questions at the end.
Great. Thank you, Brandy. Yes, and speaking of anticipation, how's that for a transition? I've been so excited to introduce you to Melissa Williams, the Director of Marketing at Visit Colorado Springs. Melissa and I work closely together every year on a fantastic program. Melissa is one of our, what we refer to as our OG clients, some of our original clients that go way back to the days when Bandwango was a team of 4 or 5 people to now this team of 60 people. So Melissa has been with us for a long time and has seen the platform evolve, have seen her passes evolve. But what I love about what you do, Melissa, is, you know, very similar to Matt. You think your programs out well in advance. You've got messaging lined up. You've got a plan around this program before it ever launches. And you have been able, with what you're going to be sharing with us here, to really keep the program fresh every single year. And we're going to, a little teaser, we're going to talk about in a few minutes some of the amazing numbers that Melissa and I were looking at today. So Melissa, I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to you. And looking forward to hearing more about your past and also these amazing graphics that you've created, which I know you're going to talk more about too.
Thanks. Yeah. This is our favorite campaign that we do every year. We've been doing it for a while now. So I'm Melissa from Visit Colorado Springs in Colorado, and we're known for our amazing outdoor trails and hiking and outdoor adventures, and also our amazing craft beverage scene. So we have just countless breweries and distilleries and wineries all around the region. And we wanted to really capitalize on that being such a draw to our community. So in 2017, we really threw our hat in the ring and tried a printed pass that we literally had a PDF. It was so old school that you could print off on your own computer because we all have printers. 2017 may have been a while ago, but it wasn't that long ago. It did not go as well as our program goes now, needless to say. We got connected with Bandwango, took it to a digital platform, and honestly, the rest is history. It's just been a phenomenal success. So this passport is just what it sounds like. So craft beverages, draft that you get off of. It's got breweries, distilleries, wineries, coffee shops. This year, we've even added a lemonade business. So there's non-alcoholic options. We've included tap houses and just kind of refined it each year as different organizations and partners have come on, really wanting to be included and take advantage of that. And each year, like you said, we do a complete refresh. The program runs from mid-May through the end of the year. And we've seen really, really great re-engagement by doing that timing. This way it stays top of mind for people. It's not something that they know will just always be there, therefore they don't use it. Having kind of a deadline to it encourages people to do more of those redemptions, get out there and keep earning swag. And I've lost control of all of the things on this. So if you could advance the slides for me after all, that would be great.
We're a team, Melissa. I'm happy to jump in.
I almost couldn't unmute myself and I was panicking a little bit, but that worked.
There you go.
So yes, like I said, we refresh every year with new vendors, new artwork, new themes, and it really gives users an opportunity to get excited about the pass again. This year we did a camp theme, which was really fun. We work with a really talented local designer who is just so creative and helps come up with really fun themes. And we really work hard to stay really involved with the local businesses. So getting out there, making sure that everyone has an opportunity to participate. The way that we're structured, we're really fortunate to not have to charge our partners to participate, which really removes a lot of boundaries. So trying to get as many exciting deals and discounts included as possible. And we actually allow for people to come on after the pass is launched, not only because that helps businesses who maybe are in different circumstances throughout the year where maybe they can't dedicate the time and energy to training their staff or focusing on having a deal or a discount, but then it also adds this kind of surprise and delight for users to say, oh my gosh, there's new deals coming on this week. And we're able to tap into those push notifications to make sure that people know that, hey, we've added, 3 more deals this week. Don't forget to check out the pass, head out this weekend. We use a lot of the language based on the theme. So we'll say like, grab your camp buddy and hit the nearest trail to, your favorite craft beverages and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love that, Melissa. You guys really do a great job of staying true to yourselves as a destination and being authentically Colorado Springs. And then each year with the theme for the program, you also do such a great job, as you were mentioning, of fully leaning into the theme. You guys commit to it, from the messages you send out to the description you have on your passport to the graphics you use. Everything is so seamless, and I just love that. So
thank you. Actually, for our we had a big media event this year, and we had selfie stations where you could make s'mores and where you could make friendship bracelets. So it was all very camp theme. We love a good theme.
Yes.
So each year we try to entice people to sign up and to redeem prizes. So we have done prizes ranging from stickers to t-shirts. We had limited edition posters. And this year we are doing little like Cub Scout badges. They're little embroidered patches. This is an example of one that if you go and redeem at least 2 locations, we keep it really low so that you can get a lot. You can start collecting these patches and encourage people to, collect them all, which has been really fun. Last year, we did a limited run scavenger hunt for some really big posters. And this is also a little bit on lessons learned, but when I ordered the posters, I ordered the biggest posters on accident that have been known to mankind. And I said, oh my gosh, we got to get rid of these stinking massive posters. So we did a scavenger hunt around at the different participating locations and had different clues that we would post on social media. And if you went and you found it, the poster was yours. It was off my desk. So that was kind of a fun, happy accident. But yeah, we do a lot of re-engagements through emails, through the push notifications, and really try to have those touch points with both the participants and the participating locations to make sure that they stay in the loop. We try to do a really good job of touching base, especially if we see that maybe they're not getting the redemption numbers or visitation that we would like to see. We may touch base and see how it's going. Maybe they're just not asking users to show them their phones, so they're not like physically checking in on their phone, and we've seen that happen over the years. So that helps kind of remind them that, hey, users won't be able to, get these prizes if they don't check in on their phones while they're there. So help them kind of hold users' hands through that. And then if it's not performing well, we can pivot and say, hey, let's offer a different deal that maybe is more enticing. So that's been really beneficial as well.
Yeah. I love the story you shared about the posters too, because I remember when that happened and you and I jumped on a call, and in true Melissa form, you took something that some people could have perceived as something frustrating or whatever, and you and your team worked hard to just quickly pivot. I loved the scavenger hunt that you guys did on social media because it helped draw in an additional audience and bring more visibility to the program. And so just really impressed with how you were able to very quickly just be like, you know what? This is an opportunity to do something. So,
oh my gosh, I should have sent a photo that I had taken when we got the posters. They were literally the size of me. So it was a fun kind of pivot, happy accident, like I said again. And people really liked it. We had people competing to find these posters, which was fun.
Yeah, I mean, that did exactly what you hoped it would do. So
yeah, absolutely.
On that. Yeah, you're the design. Speaking of that.
Yeah, these are kind of iterations just over the past 4 years. We've done it for even longer than that, but I think these are our crown jewels because each year they've gotten a little better. The last one that I designed is this one to the far right, and it didn't have really a total theme, so to speak, except for we're coming out of COVID. So everything was really about reconnecting, getting back out there to share a drink and like cheersing to things going back to a little bit of normalcy. After that, we did one that was groovy themed. It was called like the Summer of Local Love. So it was all very like peace and love and kind of fun, groovy stuff. And we did stickers primarily for those, as well as some t-shirts. Last year was so fun. So we did cryptids. It's a little hard to see on this slide, but we had illustrated, like hand illustrated features of different monsters. So we had Bigfoot, we had a swamp monster, we had Mothman, and we had an alien. And each of them had like their drink of choice. And so the theme was really much around like deals too good to be true, like the legends are true, discover these this passport. And so it was a really fun one. And we did t-shirts for that one. So that was a big hit. And then of course our camp crafts and drafts this year. Each year, I don't know how our designer is going to top it, but
but they seem to every year.
They knock it out of the park every year. And it's been really, really fun to witness. I actually ran into someone who was at a mixer. So they happened to know that like I ran the pass, and they told me that them and their friends actually wait each summer for the passport to launch. And they're like, it doesn't really feel like summer here until the passport launches. So that was really cool to see, just that local engagement and anticipation around the community, that it's been around long enough that people know to expect it and get excited, wondering what the theme is going to be and like what swag they can get. So that's been really cool to hear.
Yeah, no kidding. And I remember when you and I debriefed at the end of the program last year, not only were your locals and folks in the community engaged who are there all, year in and year out and look forward to this program, but I remember you and I also pulled up the pass holder geographics report, and we noticed that there was a pass holder from 48 of the 50 states, I believe, is what we determined. So you weren't just drawing locals, you were drawing people from all over the country who came and engaged in this program. So I thought that was really impressive.
Yeah, that made us very happy because, our goal as a visitors bureau is obviously to get people to come into the community. And this was kind of an outlying campaign, and that we knew it was more of a local or a drive market. And we didn't really have expectations past that, but we've had this pass launching, annually for long enough that people who have come to visit been targeted by, we do advertising campaigns around this to make sure that we target, the right people in the right places. And it's worked. We actually have had people express to us that they plan their summer trips around like when this will be out, because they love taking advantage of the deals and they love being able to get the swag. So that was also very surprising, but like great to hear that it's working in that way as well.
Yeah, exactly. For the many travel and tourism destinations that are joining us today, I know driving that overnight room visitation is so key. And so it's wonderful to hear that the program is encouraging that kind of visitation for you.
Yeah, it's been incredibly valuable and beneficial. This is just kind of our bragging slide. So we average, 5,500 signups each year. And that has just been going up every year, which has been really great. And we both checked our numbers this morning before this, and we're almost to 6,000 already, and we're just now in August. So that's really exciting.
Which eclipses all of 2023 combined. You guys have already eclipsed that number, and we are, like you said, your program runs May through December. So let's see, May, June, July, August, we're about 4 months in, already more signups than you had last year. So the growth is real.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. And so we try to stay on that, take advantage of the momentum, and we'll send out email blasts every once in a while. The push notifications that we do send, which I've mentioned a couple of times, we try to pace them based on whether it's triggered by an event. So like maybe they're close to earning a patch, but they haven't quite gotten one yet. We might send one to be like, hey, you only have one more, like go ahead and redeem it. Or we'll do one based on a holiday. So Labor Day weekend, get out there with, you may be hitting the trails and getting into the mountains, but like reward yourself after a hard hike with deals and discounts at these different places. So that's been really, really helpful. And then staying in touch with those vendors as well. We started last year sending out top 5 performing vendors. And that has kind of started a friendly competition between them now, that they're like, all right, we were top last year, or we saw that Voodoo Brewing was top. How do we beat them? How do we offer a better deal? So it's kind of helped us and get them more excited about it and wanting to offer better deals and be better participants to get people to come into their front doors. So that's been cool to see too.
Yeah, how fun. A little friendly competition, not just for the pass holders, but for the businesses as well, which I think sometimes we forget that, as I think in a lot of communities like Colorado Springs, there's a very collaborative spirit, but there's also that, desire to see if we can one up the folks down the street. So
yeah, a lot of friendly competition for sure. Yeah, one of the bigger lessons learned, and this could be pretty common among other DMOs, but getting especially breweries, not to throw any shade at anybody, but getting them to answer an email is like pulling teeth. And so having Bandwango do that outreach for us in the beginning was a little difficult. So we took all of that in-house, where we do all of the onboarding, we do all of the outreach. We create really, really robust onboarding information. We give each participant a packet when they decide to offer a dealer discount that has everything they could need. It's got information about how long it goes, how to monitor and redeem the deals when people come in, contact information. There's a landing page that we created. So there's a QR code that takes them to that shows like performance data over the past years, FAQs, tips and tricks for getting more people in your doors, media kit. So if they want to share it on their social channels, it'll include like imagery and graphics along with hashtags and different language that you can use. So really trying to make this as painless as possible and hold everyone's hand as much as we can to kind of control that and make sure that we can get as much lift out of it as we can by getting them to also help spread the message. And that's been really, really helpful. And in the beginning, we noticed pretty quickly that these breweries or distillers or whatnot would participate, but they may not like tell their staff they're participating. So we would get people emailing us saying like, hey, I came and they didn't know what I was talking about. So we learned really quickly that like, okay, we need to kind of grab hold of the reins and make sure that the customers has a really good experience when they go to these places. And that's been really, really helpful and something that we've continued each year and kind of it's like a template that we created that we can just update as needed. So that's been really helpful. Like I mentioned before, we do a lot of communication with the partners throughout the pass. I have some partners that love to reach out to me with their ideas and really want it to be like a year-round thing because they see so many benefits, but we're pretty adamant that we want to do this refresh. We want to keep it exciting and something that people look forward to so it's not forgotten. And at the end of the campaign, we also send not only like a wrap-up email to the participants telling them, hey, look out next year at this same time and we'll be launching again. So like, don't forget about us and also sign up for our newsletter, but also reaching out to the vendors to say what went right, what could have been better. Is this still beneficial to you? What could we do differently that would bring more value, just to make sure that we're really serving the people that we created this pass for. Yes, it's a really fun campaign, but at the end of the day, if it's not benefiting these local businesses, like what's the point? So making sure that they are in the conversation, giving their feedback and that being heard so that it is just as much value to them as we can give. And then really, really detailed reporting as well, giving that friendly competition where we can, and then just staying kind of top level for the rest of it. So that's kind of the gist of things we've learned and what we have seen works and doesn't, and what we keep doing year after year.
Great. Melissa, you guys do such amazing work. And I love the learnings that you've shared. And I think this slide, really shows how you have a process that begins when you start the project each year all the way through even after the project is completed. So it's a very well thought out plan with a lot of touch points along the way, before, during, and after, with both your businesses and your pass holders. And I think that's a testament to, why the program is as successful as it is. And I also like what you've shared here about, your experience curating this kit for each of your businesses. And, I'll say that every community is a little bit different. Certainly you have a tremendous relationship with the businesses in your community, and you guys have cultivated that relationship over years. And so I do think for you, it has made more sense for you to onboard. And we have many other partners who, for them, whether it's a bandwidth issue or it's just, kind of an issue of establishing some relationships that maybe aren't there already, the Bandwango onboarded piece is really, really important. And we've seen it be super successful for those partners. So I think that's one of the questions that if I ask you, and I ask our partners when we first begin our relationship, which is, what are your relationships like with your businesses? What business sectors within your destination do you have the closest relationships with? Is it your restaurants? Is it your attractions? And those answers to those questions can really help guide us, not only in terms of what paths we create, but then how that pass build goes and how the working with the business goes. So a lot of gems there, Melissa. Amazing work. Again, I'm so excited that I had the opportunity to have you on today and for you to share with us about this amazing program that just seems to get better year in and year out. And so with that, just another reminder before I toss it back to Brandy for a second here, toss any questions you have in the Q&A section. We've got two super knowledgeable and successful folks here that would love to answer any questions you have. Brandy, I know you've been monitoring the chat already. Is there anything in there that you wanted to toss to Melissa and Matt already, or let me know? I've got some questions that I can throw in as well.
Sure. Thanks, Jason. And Melissa, those passes, they're super cute. You guys are killing it. Thank you, both of you, for being our MVPs and for being here to share this. I did get a question. Destiny Lallis wanted us to share links to the past pages. I've dropped those over here. Feel free to double check, Melissa and Matt, make sure those are correct. But we got another question from Daniel. Hi, Daniel. Love Cumberland's model. How do they staff and manage their program? And Melissa, get ready, because I'm going to throw this one to you right after Matt tells us about this, because I think this is a big key factor, is like, who's taking the reins on this? Who's doing what part? So Matt, do you want to kind of talk about how your team is set up?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I manage all the trails that we offer. I am the lead on everything, but obviously our trails would not be successful without a strong team around me. So we have a graphic designer that helps with all the graphics and our branding components. We have advertising team that places ads for Beer Trail on Untapped, as well as Facebook ads. We have content managers helping us with creating content for our blogs, for our web pages, and then also just other team members helping me with invites and visiting businesses and making sure that everyone's on the same page. So while I am the lead on our experience trails, it truly is a team effort, and it would not be as successful if it was solely placed on the shoulders of one person.
So you're inviting everybody along for the Spotify jam session.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of brainstorming that goes into it. We actually already set our plan for next year, so it's a long process to manage the trails from beginning to end, but it's really important that everyone's on the same page and that we're putting as much thought into it as possible so the trail can be as successful as it is.
Awesome. Thank you. And Melissa, what about you? How are you guys set up to be able to maintain this?
Well, first, I just want to give a kudos to Matt. Your marketing ideas and the swag, especially in the Spotify playlist, I may or may not steal a lot of those. I'll give you all the credit. But those are brilliant. Those are so fun to listen to. So we are fortunate enough to have a marketing team. We have 5 people, including myself, on the team. So I lead the project. It's kind of my baby, and I'm a little bit of a control freak, but I'm able to delegate a lot to our communication side for a lot of the press releases and the media events and that kind of outreach. We all kind of split duties when it comes to writing the content, writing the push notifications. I create the landing page on the website. We work with a third-party advertising agency who does the actual advertising campaign around it. So that in itself is a whole project to get the assets for, banner ads and native advertising, video. We outsource our design with a third-party designer as well to come up with the artwork and help kind of brainstorm the creative direction that we want to go in. And of course, we lean on Bandwango a lot. When we were doing like the onboarding materials, like I mentioned, there's a lot of times I would ping them and say, hey, do you have instructions already made for like how you redeem a pass or how you sign up for it on your phone, so it's not something that I have to kind of recreate. And that was really, really helpful. You guys have always been awesome to answer any questions as big or silly as they might be that I come up with. So yeah, we split as much as we can and try to really share the burden of it, because we're really fortunate to have a team that can do that and have, vendors and agencies that we can lean on for those things. I know not every destination is fortunate enough to have that, but we are really lucky to be able to do that.
Awesome. And, with Experience Builder now too, how you can go in there and start building those passes on your own. You can actually have multiple team members go in and do their different parts. So like your person who's designing those graphics, that can be the person that goes in and pops in that mobile pass header image. The people who are putting in the information about your merchants, they can go in and do that. So it's something that can be collaborative with your team members using Experience Builder for those different pieces they have of the process. And anybody else, if you have questions, I saw we just had one come in from Marianne. Approximately how much paid ads do you do for your passes? Matt, I'll start with you on that one.
I actually don't have the answer to that because I don't deal with the advertising myself, but I can definitely talk with our social media manager. We do ads for each trail on our socials and push those out. But I don't necessarily have a specific answer for you.
Okay. And Melissa, what about you?
We do programmatic advertising with our ad agency. They also help serve our social ads as well. So like the number of ads that go out into, the ether is a little fuzzy, but I will say we have a pretty substantial budget that goes behind pushing these. We put about $75,000 just into our advertising campaigns. So we really do a lot of heavy lifting through getting the message out to as many people as we can. But we really rely on our third-party vendor to do a lot of that, to do the bidding and whatnot, to get us on like the right websites in front of the right people and target. We're very specific about targeting those front range drive markets. And then we target, very specific states that already think that we're exciting and want to come visit us and show an interest in us, to make sure we're capitalizing on getting in front of people who are likely to convert.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
And I know you guys are both doing a really good job getting those people signed up and that engagement part too, so it's two pieces, getting them signed up and then keeping them excited. And that messaging that you're using just keeps them excited, keeps you talking to them through that time. So y'all are both doing a really good job of that. If anybody does have any other questions, continue to pop them in the Q&A section over here. Jason, I know you've got some questions though. Do you want to throw out some of yours?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Brandy. So yeah, I think, when we talk about pass refreshes, and we've kind of talked around this perhaps, but I'm going to ask it in a little bit more of a direct way. When we talk about pass refreshes, I think there's sometimes a concern that certain partners may have, especially if they get 6,000 signups like you, Melissa, in a given year, about that program ending. And then the thought of trying to generate those signups again, for example. I think there's sometimes that thought process, and that's why some people may elect to just try to extend the program for years and years. But I'm curious to hear from both of you, and Melissa, I'm going to come to you first on this one. Why, and I know we've touched upon this a little bit, but more directly, why would you say it's important for the program to end each year and relaunch, the next year, the 2025 version, as opposed to just changing the end date and just extending it?
Yeah, we've considered it like very, very intently, because we have had partners that say, and understandably so, like, we have the summer traffic, like we die off in the winter. We really need that visitation December through February. Like, why don't you just extend it and make it year round? And we're like, that is valid. Like, we entirely understand that. And the reason we haven't changed to that model is just because we don't want the program to get stagnant and for people to forget about it, because keeping people engaged for the time that we do, the fact that we run it through the end of the year is already, in my opinion, pushing it. It's really hard after Labor Day. Our signups tend to fall off a little bit. People are either taking their kids back to school, they're going back to college. It's getting colder out, so it's just not top of mind. So we have to do extra to keep people engaged and keep them excited. We're considering, we didn't do t-shirts this year, and so we're considering launching a t-shirt that's only available in the fall for this program, so people are enticed to come use the pass again during the fall, going into the winter months. That's really our main reason. But with the new kind of unlimited pass model, it gives us an opportunity to meet that need in a different way. So we might be able to look at like a winter extravaganza of some sort where we can serve the need that is coming from like these breweries who are expressing like, hey, our winter months are when we're kind of dead, like we could really use the help then. Well, we can do a short run pass that is different, that kind of helps drive traffic in that way. So that's something that we have the ability to explore now, which is really exciting.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to talking through that one with you too. But I think before I toss it over to you, Matt, I just want to, illustrate based on what Melissa was sharing. I think part of the reason why both of you are so successful is that it's not a set it and forget it. It's not it launches and then both of you just let it run itself. I mean, you really are thoughtful and you put work into ensuring that you're re-engaging people throughout the year, that they're getting messages. It's not radio silence. Once the pass launches, you're sending out messages. You're letting them know about new businesses on the pass. You're letting them know about special promotions that may be for a short time, such as a t-shirt giveaway for just visits in September, for example, or something like that. And so I think that's a really important thing to consider as well, which is, a lot of this you guys plan before things happen, but you're also both really good at pivoting in the middle. So if you do get some extra t-shirts or you do hear from your partners that they need a little bit of extra love in a given month, you're both able to then pull the levers based on your knowledge of Bandwango and the programs and what you have done successfully and with other programs in the past, and then jump in and make it happen. And so that would be something that I would share. I think Brandy would echo this as well, that we find is just really successful for all of our partners, is really just remaining engaged with the program, checking in on the numbers, checking in with your businesses, making sure your partners hear from your pass holders hear from you, so that it doesn't just get lost in their phone, or when school starts, it doesn't just, go away out of people's minds. So I think that's really important. Matt, do you want to add anything to that, or any specifics that you've found helpful along those lines of why to, have a short duration rather than something that just kind of goes on indefinitely?
Yeah, I do. But real quick, before I answer that question, I just want to go back to Mary Ann's question about the advertising. So I do have an answer for you now.
Real time.
Perfect timing, I know. So we spend around $3,000 for social advertising for each trail. And then we devote $10,000 for our untapped advertising for the beer trail. And we do place organic and paid search advertisements for our trails as well as having trails on all of our landing pages. So when people visit our website, they're able to easily access our trails. Now, as to your question, Jason, engagement is definitely very important. We try to send out messaging along the duration of the trail to pass holders who haven't redeemed any check-ins yet, as well as trying to sponsor different kinds of events to keep the trail in the front of people's minds and allow people to continue to interact and remember that the trail is happening. And then after each trail ends, we do allow pre-signups, so people are able to put their name in and already be signed up for next year's trail when it launches. So they have something to look forward to, and they know that they're already signed in, they're good to go, and they're able to start collecting their check-ins right away.
Yeah, for sure. You guys do a really great job, as you mentioned earlier, also of keeping the campaigns having a sense of urgency, because the campaigns are relatively short and they're really purposeful for the seasons and the goals that you guys have. You have an end date on it so that people have to engage with it. It can't be something that they're like, well, I'll go in next year or something. They have to engage with it during that campaign. So that's really cool. Brandy, I know you got another question in the chat, I think. So we can squeeze another one in here before we begin to wrap up for today.
Totally. And Melissa and Matt, you guys are getting some love in the chat section. Allie, I'm hungry and thirsty too. Yes, after talking about all of these great trails. But yeah, I mean, I think we've got some comments here, some people wanting to steal some ideas. We want you to steal them, definitely. Like that's we're sharing the love, sharing ideas. And Destiny, you want to create a coffee and craft beer pass? Girl, let's do it. Get with your partner success manager, and we will totally work with you on that. And we can talk to you about time frames, the perks of that. But we did get a question from Adam here. I want to throw out there. How do you distribute your prizes? Shipping costs are getting crazy. I'll throw out too, like we do have a couple of options. Like our partners can distribute prizes on their own, either by shipping or pickup. We also have third-party prize distribution. So if you wanted to work with us and not order a bunch of prizes at one time, but as people are redeeming those prizes, our third-party partner has those created and ships those on your behalf. So that's an option too. Just ask your Bandwango representative about that, and we're happy to talk about that third-party prize distribution. But with this, Melissa, I'll let you talk about how you are doing distribution.
We do fulfillment in our office, which each year I'm very tempted by the third-party distribution, and one year I might cave.
Yeah.
But we have our big mail machine, and we break it into, we try to check weekly to see, what prizes have been redeemed, and we just manually mail them out ourselves. I don't know that is something that I would recommend at other destinations too, because it is quite a headache, and you're right, it is pricey. But it's been working for us so far. We'll see what happens each year, but that's kind of what's been our mode over here.
Yeah.
Cool. Matt, what about you?
Yeah, so I am the one that fulfills all of our prize shipments. So especially because our ice cream trail is wrapping up this year, I've been getting tons of prizes to ship. So it can be a little overwhelming at times. As she mentioned, we do try to check that each week so the prizes aren't building up and that we can move those out quicker. We have a label machine to help ease that process. We just print the shipping labels right in our office and send them off to the post office. But in terms of the shipping costs, we do devote a good chunk of our budget to the shipping costs, but we also try to purposely select prizes that are smaller or foldable so we can fit them in bubble mailers or poly mailers and avoid shipping boxes, because boxes will add to those shipping costs as opposed to something that's a little bit smaller.
Very good point. Very good point. And then last question, I'll scoot this in super quick. Erica asked, how do you administer the surveys? Matt, those are the ones that we were sending out through that messaging that I believe she was referring to.
Yeah, so we have a link that we put in the Bandwango messaging. It goes to our website. There's a special page that's devoted to our surveys, so people are able to fill those out. And I can check our CRM and look at the responses. We do have our surveys incentivized, so people can look forward to a monthly drawing where they could win prizes such as gift cards or small promotional items from our actual locations on that trail. And that's how we administer it. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you both so much for joining us today. We've learned so much. Jason, any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, I just was going to mention one last thing on Adam's question about the distribution of prizes before we end today is just a couple of other things that people have done in the past that have been successful. They've had an opportunity to share at their visitor center, get people to come to their visitor center, so hand out the prizes there. Or if they have a key sponsor or a key stakeholder who's part of their campaign, or maybe just, like I said, a sponsor, an advertiser who has an office that people can go to pick things up. It's been a nice touch point for people for that sponsor, for that business, to have people coming in to get the prizes and more foot traffic for them. So just a couple of other ideas to quickly slip in there. But with that being said, we are at our time for today. So echoing what Brandy said, thank you so much, Melissa and Matt, for your time and for sharing all your insights. And like we said, you're getting kudos left and right in the chat. And I know you've got ideas from each other. People are getting ideas from you. That's why we do these webinars. And we're just really excited that everybody's joined us today. And so what we just want to leave you with is, if you have any specific questions, I've got Brandy and my information up on the screen, or you can reach out. If you're a current partner of ours, you can reach out to your client success manager, and we'll be happy to put you in touch if you have some additional specific questions for Melissa and Matt, or some questions for us about Bandwango and how we can help with your next pass. Let us know. We'd love to answer those for you. But in the meantime, we wish everybody the best. Have a wonderful Labor Day weekend, and we'll see you next month for our next partner webinar. Be on the lookout for your Bandwango monthly e-newsletter to see what we'll do next.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Have a great day.